The dark world of Little Nightmares is vast. Known as the Nowhere, it's a place only accessible through dreams, rather nightmares. From the buildings to the food to the inhabitants, it's all created to evoke a child's worst fear. But fear is what drives our survival instincts. This, paired with a little imagination, can help us through our darkest times. In the case of Lo, he conjured his own best friend, someone that would be the light to his darkness, never letting him give up. Fear is no match for a child's imagination. Little Nightmares 3 introduced us to not only new locations within the Nowhere, but also new characters. Lo and Alone, two friends bound together by an unbreakable bond. This bond is represented through hope, how they never lost hope of finding a new home. We see this all throughout the story. Each had their own moments of helping the other. Together, they are strong enough to take down any monster in this nightmare. But their story is so much deeper than that, so let's try to piece everything together and see who these two really are. In the real world, Lo resides in the Institute, a sort of mental hospital. He has his own room, however the conditions are anything but nice. The room is padded, with a bed, a single pillow, and a blanket. Next to the bed is a bucket, toilet paper, and trash is littered around the room. Now the bucket and toilet paper could hint that he uses the restroom in this room as well. It's not ideal, but this room is the least of his worries. Lo is always being watched by the doctor named Otto. This man runs the Institute. From the way Lo hides under his bed, it seems he is extremely afraid of Otto, assuming this is who was at the door. To give context, Otto was the psychiatrist here, and he would help the children of the Institute overcome their issues. Originally, he was kind, however, over time, he gradually changed into a psychologically abusive man. He became obsessed with the Nowhere, and would use the children as his conduits in hopes to one day access the Nowhere himself in an attempt to find his missing sister. But doing this came at the cost of his patient's safety and sanity. It seems Lo was one of these children he would torment. Over thousands of children have been admitted to this institute. Some were kept under constant watch, while others were free to leave their room and wander the facility. Lo seems to be one of the kids that's always being watched. Why? It's never directly said, but it's presumably because he had a nightmare disorder. This disorder would allow the children to dream of and enter another world, the Nowhere. Lo was known as patient or case number 1331 and was subject to Otto's mistreatment. Otto would use candy to entice the children into doing what he asks. He would then hook them up to this machine as they fall asleep and entered the Nowhere. This was obviously torture for Lo, as the Nowhere is a place of nightmares. Doing this over and over would cause Lo to become lost. He was essentially a prisoner to Otto. Now, while locked away, Lo would draw to pass his time, drawing the very things he would have nightmares of. These nightmares would send him into the Spiral, a place inside the Nowhere. I believe this is why Otto keeps Lo locked away like this. Lo could travel to a different area within the Nowhere. Instead of the Maw or the Pale City, he was in the Spiral, another place Otto's sister might be. Otto was essentially mapping out the Nowhere in hopes to cover all locations to find his sister. In other words, he would sort of use Lo to look for a sister while in the Nowhere. But that's just me speculating, as it's never directly said. Now, the Spiral was just as disturbing as the rest of the Nowhere. The monsters would attack, eat, and even enslave the children. And it seems Lo had spent a lot of time here, as we can find a poster of him in the carnival. But that's a topic for another video. Traversing through this nightmare would not be easy alone. Back in the real world, Lo had a doll. It's unknown if he made this or found it. Regardless, this doll was his best and only friend. It was something that brought him comfort, as he was always alone. It was the light to his darkness. This doll's name was Alone because it represents what he was without it. Now, while in the Spiral, Lo would bring Alone to life. To him, she was no longer just a doll, but a real person. Together, they could make it through the Spiral and find a new home. A safe place. This is known to be the Counties, a location that's not a part of the Nowhere, meaning if the two can make it through the Spiral, Lo can escape the Institute in the real world and land in the Counties. So Lo and Alone set off on their journey. Along the way, every location is a challenge, as enemies lurk around every corner. One wrong step and the monster baby will petrify them into stone. Explore too deep in the candy factory and the supervisor will turn them into a sweet treat. Get caught by the kin and they will be enslaved to perform for eternity. And running into the hypnosis will keep Lo stuck in the Institute forever. All of these obstacles took Lo and Alone through some dark places. But like I said at the start, these nightmares are no match for the bond of these two characters. They never run out of hope. The two are constantly helping each other. Lo is able to use the mirrors to travel to each nightmare. When Alone comes through them, Lo helps her up and makes sure she's okay. When Lo wants to quit, Alone keeps pushing him forward, never letting him give up. These are examples of how the two are always pushing each other forward. Now, while inside the Institute in the spiral, the two find Lo's doll of Alone. Once Lo touches it, the surrounding area turns bright and changes the world around them. With it, the two can get into areas that are seemingly locked. It sort of changes reality, bringing light to darkness. And that's just it. This doll is a beacon of light for Lo. It represents their friendship, how Alone brings Lo happiness. No matter how dark things get for him, Alone brightens his day. Hence why it literally brightens up the world around them. It's not just a tool, but a symbol of light, and above all, their friendship. You could also interpret this as the doll leading Lo out of the Institute. It's his key to escaping, symbolizing with the help of Lo, he can be free. Following Otto's defeat, the two have done it. They traversed through each location, surviving the monsters all while working together. They pushed each other to never give up, and they never lost hope. All that's left is their final destination. One more mirror. Alone shakes her head as if she doesn't want to go, but Lo insists and brings her through. After a moment, Alone comes back through the mirror by herself. The mirror then breaks as she fades away. On the other side, Lo made it, arriving to the counties in the real world. He is no longer in the nowhere, and also no longer in the Institute. But Alone could not come through. You see, she shook her head no because she knew that this mirror would take them out of the nowhere and the Institute, the only two places she was able to be. The counties is not in the nowhere, and Lo is no longer in the Institute. Yes, we did see her take form previously while in the Institute, but that was because her doll was there. Lo does not have the doll with him anymore, meaning Alone is no longer with him. Making it to this new home meant having to leave behind the only person he ever cared about. Lo and Alone's story is a true testament to never losing hope. How if you never give up, you can achieve anything. Lo had a dream to find a new home, to escape the very nightmare of his reality, breaking free of the Institute and Otto's torment. To do this, he needed the help of the only thing he could call a friend, Alone. She brought him joy in his darkest times, acting as a beacon of light to guide him along his way. She made sure he never lost hope. Lo conjured a friend that was a reflection of himself. With her, he found the strength to escape his nightmare. How do you guys feel about Lo and Alone's story? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below, and if you like horror game content like this, please consider subscribing. Also, I have a Discord server, so if you want to chat with me, I recommend joining. And if you want to support the channel more, you can become a member. Don't forget to follow my Twitter at TerrifiedChi. Thanks for watching.